Hello and good morning, Zimbabwe. Today we're joined by Bishop Kevin Nyamakanga, a Zimbabwean pastor and intercessor with over 2 decades of ministry experience. Bishop Nyamakanga leads a movement called Zimbabwe Intercessors Movement, which is a prayer-driven initiative committed to national transformation, unity, and justice. And also, Bishop Nyamakanga is not only a church leader, but is also a strong advocate for the oppressed, constantly speaking out for the social justice and the protection of human dignity. As you might all know that in August of 2024, during the SADC summit, or the run-up to the SADC summit, Bishop Nyamakanga was arrested for his stand against injustice, and he spent 60 days in Chikurubi maximum prison. But despite your persecution, you have remained steadfast, continuing to serve faithfully, mentoring leaders and advance the gospel with courage and resilience. And we are honored to have you today with us on this show to share your journey, perspectives, and vision for Zimbabwe's future. Welcome to the show, Bishop Nyamakanga.
Thank you, sir. I'm much honored to be here.
Yeah, you know that I've tried to say a bio about you, but I think it's better coming from you. Who is Bishop Nyamakanga?
All right, Kevin Nyamakanga.
Yeah.
Is a church leader. I lead Faith Impact Generation and also Zimbabwe Intercessors Movement. I'm 46 years old. I'm married.
With one wife.
With, of course, a man of one wife.
Yes. And Bishop, I know that you've been in the ministry for 20 or so years now. What inspired your calling, and how is that calling evolved into a national advocacy mission?
I got into the ministry in 2004, a very, very long time ago. And when I was called into the ministry, I was called as an evangelist, ministering, winning souls. Actually, I got saved in 1997 and entered into the ministry in 2004. After Mwari vatoshumira kwandiri uye nevamwe vanhu vaMwari vakuru. By then, I was attending Ambassadors for Christ Ministries International, led by Apostle A.K. Sunday. So, Mugushumira, I've come to realize that the church is the custodians, or the church is the custodian of human rights. So, we cannot take away human rights from the church. Church ndo inofanira iri pamberi to defend human rights. So, but because we grew in an environment, in this narrative, where the church has been told that you don't have you just have to pray for peace in the nation. And God spoke to me saying, you don't pray for peace without justice. The first thing that the nation wants is justice. Justice brings reconciliation. And when we have reconciliation, then peace is born. But the church has been told by politicians, no, imimi namatera peace. How can we pray for peace when there is no justice?
You say that the church is the custodian of human rights. Church ndiyo custodian yema human rights. Muti paita ma human rights violations church inofanirwa kutaura here, and biblically ngatimbozvilinga timoona kuti pane pazvaimboitika here mugwaro tsvene.
Pakaitwa violation of human rights, the church ndo inofanira kutanga kuenda pamberi to defend. I'll give you a very good example of Moses. When Israel was facing injustice, human rights, abuses of human rights, Moses had to stood up. And Moses stood up, akauraya an Egyptian. nyaya yese kuzotiza kwaita achizodzoka achidaro naMwari inhawu yekuti Moses was defending my human rights against the Egyptians, against the Pharaoh. Saka church ndo inofanira kutoenda pamberi kudefenda. When it is wrong, the church inofanira kuva the voice of the voiceless, the voice to the dying world. That the Bible says the church is the salt of the earth. That is to say, the church is the panacea of the world's problems. When the nation is sick, when the nation is having problems, it has to run to the church, not the church to go to the nation.
But dingindira ramabata rema human rights that pinde into issues of politics.
Okay.
And I think there are different schools of thought around church and politics.
Okay.
Is it the role of church kupindira munezve matongero enyika or church ngaiite ngaizive nzvimbo yayo?
That's a very good, interesting question. It takes us back to creation, the plan of God. Why did God create Adam after creating the universe, the earth? Why did God put Adam into the Garden of Eden? Adam was put in the Garden of Eden simply for politics, to govern the earth. Politics is how the government is being managed, how the government is being run. So God put Adam into the Garden of Eden simply for politics. I want you to manage all these things on my behalf. So it is only that here in this current generation, nema generation apura takauzwa, because politics is for non-believers. How could God entrust politics, the governing of the earth, to non-believers, to ungodly? It is the rule and the duty of the believers, of Christians, ibasa rechurch, to govern the earth, to govern the nation on behalf of God. Actually, the church is God's embassy on earth.
Yeah, you spoke well, Bishop, on that aspect. But there is a verse, or there are quite a number of verses that speaks to praying for our leaders.
Exactly.
And I can take you to 1 Timothy 2, verse 1 to 4, which says that, first of all, then I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgiving be made for all people, for kings and all who are in high positions.
Exactly.
But which is a verse inoshandiswa navanhu kazhinji pavanotaura nyaya dzeutungamiri kuti we should pray for our leaders as church. Why should we castigate leaders?
It's not castigating leaders.
Yes.
Because kutsura is not castigating. Rebuking and correcting, these are different things. And insulting. You can even pray for your enemies, for good health, for your enemies. There is nothing wrong in praying for Idi Munangam. There is nothing wrong for praying Nelson Chamisa. But when they are wrong, when they go against the will of God, it is the church that has the right and the capacity to rebuke and to correct them. It is the role of the church. We cannot take away from this. I pray for you, but if you are wrong, the same God who has asked me to pray for you will give me a word to rebuke you with, to correct you with. So there is no compromise on that. It is only that politicians have taken advantage of the church. Politicians have captured the church and put the church in their own hands. Actually, politicians are busy killing the seed.
Bishop, some argue that faith-based leaders should stick to the pulpit and avoid politics, while others believe that silence makes the church complicit in injustice. Do you believe that pastors and intercessors should actively be involved in politics or commenting in political issues? Where should we draw the line?
The church must, not you should, but must comment on politics. When the nation isiri kutongwa zvakanaka, isiri kutungamirwa zvakanaka. Where is the church? I will ask you, my brother, where is the church? Politicians don't own the people. People are owned by the church. Right now, I have a service. Today's Wednesday, I'm having a service. It means I have the people. Politicians, they will meet people once in a while. But every day, I pray for people. So when those people are being abused, it is my right as a church leader to rebuke every politician, regardless of their position. That's the role of the church. And my politicians, sorry, my church leaders are finally kuwa involved in politics. It is because politicians, they know the power the church carries. The church is more powerful than politician. A church leader is more powerful than a politician. That's the reason why they try by all means to say my church leaders don't be involved in politics. A church leader has a more powerful voice than a politician. That's why they have introduced, it has been introduced a very time long ago, this narrative, politics is a dirty game. You understand? When they persecute you, when they kill you, when they beat you, when they put you in prison, they are simply doing this to silence you because they know the power that the church and its leaders carry.
Bishop, recently, I think we've seen businessmen giving expensive gifts to church leaders. This has sparked a debate. And what are your personal beliefs on this practice? Would you personally accept a gift from a wealthy business person? And what does it entail for you church leaders to receive gifts from politically or financially influential figures?
That's a very good question. What you need to address is you have said gift. That is to say, chipo. This also.
Yes.
No, we need to ask the motive. Why are you gifting me? Why are you giving me? I want to take you back to the story of Balaam and Balak. Why was the prophet Balaam, I don't know, was to curse Israel because they knew that Israel is blessed. So they wanted to kill the seed. So the gift in this instance was not okay. Because Urukupa Chipo to silence. Is he giving these prominent preachers to silence them? If it is the question that you want to gift me to silence me, then that gift is not acceptable. That cannot be taken. Because the moment I take a gift to silence me, it means you're trying to silence the voice of God. So if it is a gift, it's not attachment that you just want to gift me, that's okay. But the moment you gift, because you are trying to drive a certain narrative, you are trying to silence people, you are trying to, or you are campaigning, then it is against God.
But mfundisi nimbokubatira muromo ipapo nokuti paunopiwa gift here, I don't think unoudzwa kuti chamari maprophecies auri kurova izvezvizvi kuti mauri kufamba wakuda kutaurisa, but I think wega unototanga kutozviti ndikatanga because ndapiwa a vehicle worth $500,000 and ndiri kunopiwa 150,000 nepaside. I don't think unotoudzwa kuti the prophecies that you are making ngambodzikama. So ipapo I don't think
action speaks louder than words.
Yes.
Action speaks louder than words. Pane pekuti uri kuitirwa chinhu but pasina a verbal expression. But izvi kutokuudza kuti mukuru panapa nyararai kana kuti itai chakati, izvi kuitwa zvinofanira kukuudza. It is speaking, and it is speaking louder than kunzi nyarara maprophecies ako. I'll give you a very good example. Pane a certain man who was gifted, a prophet Elisha was gifted by Naaman after he has done a miracle. Naaman Elisha akaramba kutambira zvipo, not because Elisha anga asingade, but munonzwa Elisha chiti akutsura Gehazi kuti ndakuona wandotora when you went to collect the gifts from Naaman, my spirit was with you. This also anobva ati, is it time for us to collect the gifts. Is it time? Elisha is trying to bring a point that there is a time to collect gifts, and there is a time not to. At this particular time, it was not the right time to collect gifts. In as much we need cars, in as much we need money to move our ministries, but the environment. I'll give you a very good example. Could church and us is receiving the gifts. That's okay. Somebody that but let me tell you something. Moses at one time, so Exodus, in Exodus, Pharaoh arikuchonya zozona kuti Israel taedza kumusuppress and slavery, but he is continuously multiplying.
Yes.
What can we do? Then he hired Shifra and Pua, and he said, I want you to kill the seed. So killing the seed, passive multiplication.
To suppress, yes.
To suppress. So it is not stated in the Bible, but I believe these two women were given, we were supposed to be given a reward for this job. But Shifra and Pua, no, we need to protect and preserve the seed. We cannot kill the seed. So we are saying these who are being gifted, are they not be the seed inside of them? Is it not being killed by receiving the gifts? Are they going to continuously speak the word of God? Are they going to continuously speak the truth unto power? Or they are going to sing praises to the giver? They are going to exalt the giver above Christ.
But panto my gifts cat not ona.
They are praying.
Yes, they my statements are on your. They are receiving message. You not want to praise or moon. But anyway, can moon I receive that gift from a wealthy business person. Pachi kana season isadiam season or whatever the circumstances are. Pachi rine umware repapo.
Okay, that's a very good example. Those are that kupa. What's the motive? Kana motive de utoti pamwe businessman ato family wanamngari. Ndizozo. Zvisiri zvekuti ato family wanamari kunza ropa fadza nyamakanga for the extension of my kingdom. You understand?
Yes.
Kozoona kuti no panapa azvina umngari babada kukudza. Kune zvinhu zvekuti mapirwa ari kuitwa vanhu haana umngari. And people, they think, look at how Masowe is doing. Do you tell me when the nation is in dire situation? You go to my hospitals, I've been in hospitals. That's a very good example. I've seen people in Chivhayo Pelagia. You understand? Pelagia Chivhayo konzerwa nekushayikwa kwemafuta mumuviri. I've seen that. Ndakaenda chikurubi nchona vachigara paline paforeigner vanhu vachitambira sadza riri kuti beans unodziverenga 8 beans nemvura yakawanda. I've seen it. I've seen it.
I see. This is personal money. It's personal money. I use my money in whatever way I want to. That's your
personal money.
Yes.
Where are you getting the money? What is the source of your income?
I'm a business.
Is it questionable? Is it, as long as it is questionable? And we have heard stories about that. That the source of income is questionable. Probably you are becoming the Robin Hood. Let's say you are Robin Hood. You understand? But let me tell you, when you give Chipoera, I'll give you a very good example. Unompa mari. Ndizoso. Umpa mota. You give the angel those thousands of dollars. It's a very good example. Is it a gift? That's not a gift. Baba, mukaenda kune mama areas kuna Mount Darwin kune chakasara kumapeto kwenyika mukaenda, you realize kuti we are playing. You realize so far sanambodzwa munhu inini wokuni Mount Darwin akangopikwa kunze apiwa. Vari kupiwa these influential people for the next election campaign.
Vanogona vasingatodi mota dzacho, vane mota dzavo.
I'll give a very good example. Yandakupa yachipoera, yandakupa ya baba acharamba. Kuna amwe kuti azvishwa uyapiwa zvishwa andikaiti umajera zvakafanana namatema. You understand? Pembe kunyasoti zvishwa matema ona paringa evapiwa zvishwa. You understand?
Yeah, selective application of the law.
Aiwa ndakutaura wangu kuti pane pekuti panozoshandawo mwoyo. Naika. But kuzonyasona kuti aumana, why are you giving again and again? Why are you continuously giving job praise again and again?
Saka, bottom line, Mfundisi, you are saying that this is a gimmick meant for the next election.
Of course. This is a campaign for the next election. Right now, vakataura kuti agala. Ngaingoti azvegala music. Nokoka mafundisi. Anosara ndiani? Are you telling me kuti baba charamba? Are you telling me kuti baba charamba kuti handisi kukwanisa kuuya? Are you telling me kuti Dorcas Moyo, my sister, ainini handisi kuuya kuningirikini? You're lying. Are you telling me kuti vachipoera ngona kuti ainini handisi kukwanisa kuuya? Are you telling me kuti muparinga?
Tine all night prayer.
Handisi kuuya. That's not it. These people pakaitwa event, all of them they will attend. Not because God has sent them to attend, but because a politician, because somebody akalapa chinu avadana, and automatically the truth has been compromised. Vanid.
Saka mwari pane pasina kaipa.
Munhu wamwari. Ndikati mwari ndenda nyakuteta nyakutipisa. Ngatiti mwari.
Mwari.
Umwari wacho. Because umwari unofambirana nemabasa. You understand? Togona kuti all right, fine. Let us look at the other side. All right, chitora, all right. Chivhayo tingambomiss. Because haasi kutomisika. The moment pataigara tichimbotaura taitozofuma izvi peji rakatozara atopa vamwe 2-3 haasi kumisika. But pakudiwa vane progressive minds who love their nation. Wapiwa iwewe, what are you going to do next? Are you going to look after your next door neighbor? Are you going to invest into 2-3 people?
Mari mkomana ramba upere. Haisi kupera, bakoto hata haisi kupera ba.
Ndiri kutaura kutichi. Ndiri kuti haisi kupera. Until we have change of government. And one. Until we have change of government. Until we have probably would engage opposition politics. But opposition politics has also failed. They're not doing anything.
All right, there are so many issues. Yema human rights. But the church is a custodian of human rights. What is the situation with regards to human rights violations in Zimbabwe? Many violations of human rights from a spiritual, from a biblical, from a church perspective. Matimi church ndo custodian yema human rights initially.
Kana atuti ma human rights ga. Tungotaura isusu kuti munhu ukarepwa, you are raped, you are taken to waripota nyaya yako, police does nothing about it. Katino tsikwa, but you wakarepwa. Already your rights has been violated.
Yes, yeah.
Right sexually, right yacho yekuto attend kwa mapurisa in failing to come up with a solution to your problem has been also violated. You understand? Titinevan baba wekuti I'll give you a very good example, though it is sensitive. Kaurawa vamtangadura. On my own personal, I want to believe kuti kufa kwavakaita my rights avo akatoviolated even vakafa. Ndizvozvo.
A right to life, yes.
Exactly. And crime in Zimbabwe is on increase. We have got issues of drug. People are dealing with drug abuse. They're not dealing with the drug supply. Who is supplying the drugs in Zimbabwe? Before we deal nekamwana karushansa just a pinch ye cocaine. Akachengeta 2 kgs, 5 kgs umbamaki. Are we supply that cocaine? Who is it? You discover these are people of high profile. So they are dealing with the leaves. Kuti mutu aomeswe nekuti tatanaura mashizha. Mutu unoomeswa because takata meats.
Yes.
You see. So corruption. I'll give you a very good example. Issue ya Jeremiah. Kunongaika itika. But uchiita sakudayo. You can say pana unangu ngakato abuse. As a nation,
I wanted to ask you, Papa Mataura nyezema violations, or sexual violations. Could my Jeremiah wakarepwa? Checha mnasha makambotaura. You were not in the picture.
On my personal capacity, I said it. It's even on my.
It's on record.
It's on record.
Social media.
I said it. But the problem is people are afraid. You understand? The reason my pastors are they are afraid. They are afraid. But they know the truth. You cannot preach a Jesus without advocating for what is right. You preach a Jesus and you show people a Jesus who cares for the people by advocating what is right and condemn what is wrong.
Kupanatika political related human rights violations being perpetrated by those in power, you are silent.
Okay.
We are not. The church is not saying anything.
The church
actually is fragmented.
You see, when I was arrested, when I got out, do you know what? I approached a good quite number of church leaders and their organizations, and no one did anything because they are afraid. It's just a fear. You understand? The church is afraid.
Afraid of what?
Afraid to be persecuted. The church is afraid of persecution. Okay, let me tell you. When I was put in prison, probably that could be a very good example. When I was put in prison, do you know what the people I used to talk to almost every day, they ran away from me?
Why?
Do you know when I was in prison, only 2 pastors used to visit me at Chikurubi. You understand? They are afraid. Another bishop called me, went to his office. I think that was 2 weeks or 3 weeks before I was arrested. And he said, no, Bishop Nyamaganga, isusu, tuona matira hurumende, izamurgu itaji, andizo, basaredu, trazina matira vatunga miriri. You know what I said to him? I said, from today, I won't be affiliated to your organization. I will bring your certificate. I'm not going to be affiliated to your organization. It's there on the record.
Mimi, you know, there's opposite, there's ruling party. More affiliated kunana.
Father, that's a very good question. I'm not affiliated to anybody. Not a political party. I'm affiliated to the assignment that God has given me to pray and intercede for the nation.
Okay. So
however,
yes.
Pane pekuti ndika opposa hurumende, automatically they think I am supporting Nelson Chamisa. I'm supporting the obvious. You understand? But at one time I even corrected Nelson Chamisa. This is wrong. We need to make the record straight. ZANU-PF ikatadza ngaiudzwe ndo basa rechechi. Opposition ikatadza ngaiudzwe ndo basa rechechi. Nelson Chamisa akatadza ngaudzwe, is not God. Ndo basa rechechi. Vamunangagwa vakatadza ndibaba. We don't insult people. Vanozonza apa matadza. You're supposed to do A, B, C, or D.
Sakaimim, what's your take on affiliations like pastors for ED?
Okay, fine. Affiliations for like pastors for ED, apostle for ED. My conclusion is they are doing it for their own personal gain. There is no God in it.
Is there no,
because a prophet is sent not to a party. A prophet is sent to a nation. And a nation is not party affiliated. Inotora ma citizens ese. Inotora vanhu vese. Katakutora these citizens, like we are here citizens. ZANU-PF is a citizen. MDC is a citizen. CC is a citizen. Ndebele a citizen. Karanga a citizens. Anopinda chechi yake Dutch is a citizen. Zion Chigubu is a citizen. So when God is sending a prophet, he's not sending a prophet. Could I bootlick some individuals for their own personal gain? These are Balaam prophets.
You are given an opportunity to come and pray at the ZANU-PF gathering. You know, the program, people always pray.
I'm even praying for that opportunity.
You are also given an opportunity to pray for an opposition gathering. Would you go there?
Yes, I go. Yes, I go. When Bishop Messiah in Mabuk was killed, I was invited by opposition to pray and to preach on his memorial service. I went. If ZANU-PF invites me, I go. That's my duty. That's my responsibility. But if they are in error, I tell them. Zvekutenga ma-ambulance 10 or 10, 12. That was a good thing. You understand? We cannot condemn everything. But people of Zimbabwe should be able to appreciate. Kuti I was mota 10 ngaro rechi apo agonzo zvataigara tichitaura mazuva ese. On other side, the prayer is answered. You understand?
I don't want you to put in I don't want to put you in a difficult position,
it's
Bishop.
okay.
But Takatarsa, President Mnangagwa has been in power, I think, from 2017 till now. Mataura mkati yatingo only my negatives, my positives that no now. Are there positive things that you have seen from 2017 up to now in terms of the leadership ya Mnangagwa?
In terms of leadership, unogona kuona zvinhu zvakawanda kana kuti zvishoma. Patrabablas ndizvo Trabablas yakanga isipo, but kutovapo ipapo it is a change. Though change yacho iyoyo isanyatoti chikiti. You understand? Though pane zvataitarisira zvisina kuzonyatsoitwa nemazvo, but the fact yekuti Trabablas iripo, it's change. The fact that Tane Tuma ambulance, one pregnant woman was about to die in giving birth, but at least those are instead of condemn approach maita zvakanaka, but pamaisa 10 paper madi kuchizo zaita 50. You understand? That's progressive. But the people of Zimbabwe now, the problem that we have now is we are bitter. We are bitter. We curse everything. Even, I'll give you a very good example. Kutuka. Ndizozo. Akusko kunogadzira zvinhu. When you insult your leader, unogadzira chinhu. A leader atadzi. Savamnangagwa ndi baba. He remains your father. Sababa wenyu kakuzvarai. Pemba musingatowirirana baba wenyu, but baba wenyu vakaita vakazikana 3-4 zvamusingadei. You will never change.
He's still
your father. And you respect him. Saka ukazobuda chiti kuna Mnangagwa murimbwa. Automatically, even if you say that to your father, your real biological father, he will curse you.
You will be reprimanded.
You will be reprimanded. But baba murimpurwa. You understand? You'll be reprimanded.
Okay, I think I have one question before we move forward.
It's okay.
You were called to serve, or Makatumwa, in terms of Zimbabwean affairs. What's specifically your role? I want you to touch on your role in terms of Makatumwa Mimi nedenga kuti muzoita paZimbabwe, and also the fact that
all right, when God called me with this mandate began 2023. It's on the record with Zimbabwe intercessors. We was to deal with national altars that are hindering the progress of a nation. So we visited Sister John Rhodes at Njelele, Matopos. We went there, we prayed for a night. From there, we went to Vumba Mountain. We went to Mazowe. We were dealing specifically with national altars. Going to Njelele, the Spirit of the Lord ministered to us that it was a foreign altar in our land, and that has to be dealt with. Because whatever Sister John Rhodes wanted to achieve whilst he was alive, he's even still achieving it whilst he's dead. His spirit is in control of the economic affairs in Africa. So we had to do that. And concerning Zimbabwe, God said we need to pray and intercede for Zimbabwe, according to the prophetic message that was given to Cindy Jacobs in 1997. And that is where our mandate is anchored on, to intercede for Zimbabwe, to pray for Zimbabwe, but at the same time, to approach relevant authorities, those that are in authority, to tell them this is not right. God is not happy. When you abuse people, God is not happy. When you spend money in luxury lives, traveling, buying aircrafts, whilst we have no medication in hospitals, God is not happy. If you promise people that there is going to be free education, you have to fulfill it. If you don't fulfill it, you have lied, not only to people, but also to God. It's a lie. So this is the mandate.
Is there hope for Zimbabwe? Muchadenga, in the realm of the spirit, are things going to get better for Zimbabwe? I know one out there, and when I say are things going to get better, I'm not saying is there going to be a change in terms of leadership. Is there going to no? But I'm asking because the leadership that is there, it's not going to turn out on the floor. Or whatever the circumstances, but in your mukutumwa kwa makaita murikuona or kuona muchadenga in the realm of the spirit zonsichambo zonyaso flow for everyone in Zimbabwe. I'm
a Bible believing man of God. I believe in God. Change definitely is upon us. At one time, Elisha no profita. Kade Musamaria maijiwa misoro embongoro. Ono achunganza matoto enjiwa kuti vararame. Vamwe vachidyanana, chidyavana. Then the word of God came to Elisha and said, tell king of Samaria that mangwanani ufu wakatsetseka uchatengeswa pamasuo eSamaria nemashekere mashomanene. This is the God we preach. Change is upon us. Things are going to change. According to the prophets also of Cindy Jacobs, and according to the word of God. That's the reason why we pray every day. We fast every day. Why are we doing this? Because we have got hope in Him that whatever God has purposed upon this nation, that which God has said upon this land, it is going to come to pass. And definitely it is going to come to pass. People must be ready. But you understand?
Yes.
Those are chona mchinda uyu aitsamiri wachipfona mamba akatoti zvauri kutaura zveElisha kufarisa. Kunyange even if God opens the gates in heaven, this thing will never take place because ananga garisa muurombo, wanga garisa situation for a very long time. So whenever a prophetic word is released, they doubt it. They no longer believe it because vakamboudzwa. But whatever God says about this nation, that which God has ever said, it is going to take place, and the change is upon us.
Yeah, let's move forward.
Thank you,
Bishop. You were arrested during during the run up to the SADC summit towards and spent 60 days in Chikurubi maximum prison. Could this section, I think, can you share what that experience taught you, and what that experience taught you about your faith, courage and resilience?
I've learned I'm not better. I'm not better. Those 2 months, he has put me on a better level, that I'm no longer afraid even of going to jail. The upgrade, Shasara Pandiri roof. So anything that will come on me, Panopanyika, Chisiri roof, I'm able to overcome it.
Yes.
Then also, I've learned, kuti people, they want you. My situations are niswana mariwayo, kuti va expose vanhu vakaukomberedza. Ndopa unoona kuti no, Samuel, ndi wangu chai chai. Apa ndopa unoona kuti vanotida when we are able to speak on behalf of them. Those are izozeka. I've learned that. Also, I have learned kuti sometimes kuti uparidze zvinobatika, you need to pass through that. My message ataiparidza tichinyeperera vanhu kuti unobuda jere rino izvezvi, like dzana Paulo dziya. You understand?
Yes.
Kuti unobuda mujere, it's a joke. Because when you are there, then you try to practice what Paul and Silas did in the prison, what Peter in the prison did. You only experience that when you come to reality. And I've experienced that.
And how was the experience? Like, mamuri same kati yes mataura zvekusembisa kutenda kwenyu, but the experience, what conditions in prison,
my brother, that's not a good place. Yeah. Kana tozogara. Kana tozogara. It's not a good place. All I can tell varume kuti try to avoid crime. At any given cost, especially zekuti waona mudzimai wako aine mumwe murume uda kutora banga, just walk away. Because when you're in that place, it is a place of no hope. I have seen baba muna achikudza kuti ndaane 5 years apa ndakati wa 33 years. Ko hama dzako dzakangouya chete first 2 months. Ko mudzimai ndakatonzonza akaroorwa. There are some people in prison vasina kana visit. I have seen people, I'll give you two example. Ndakaigirwa mabanana, you know mabanana. Anta uchike makanda. Sayengo uchika banana to
muisa makanda pasaida.
Toisa makanda pasaida. Kana mchi plastic kana ngo tora manachisa. Omenya uisa makanda. I have seen people coming to me, making a deal with me. Kuti bishop, pamunigirwa mabanana pepe musarase makanda. Ndane 4 years sandajika banana. I've seen it. I've seen it, people who are longing to have a visit. Just a visit. I have seen it. I have seen people who have cried, kuti I am here. Ndakangonyeperwa. Because ndakadai. Concerning welfare chaichai. Kana usina hama kunze. Zinokurangarira pachikafu. Apana. I've seen one and kwash. I've seen it.
In the 21st century.
21st century.
Vanaruta kwash.
Vanaruta kwash. Vasina vanhu vanofamba nezvigamba. Zvigamba zvinatoti vana kutambura. Unomona munhu aine zvigamba. Anoto kana achitozobuda mugedhe achienda kunonzi kuye pacourtyard paya. Ndopa anotenderwa chete kutokumbira mumwe hembe dzake kuti aende pacourtyard. But kana uri macells nongoine zvako ndizvozvo. I have seen it. I have seen people vakaita mameters achikutsanangurira vamwe maurayiro akaita vanhu uchigara naye pasi kuudza kuti I remember this other night kunoitwa maservice so ini because I'm a bishop vanhu vangaita zvekutondikoka zviya zvekuti hatimboziva kana uri chechi dzekunze uchitokoka wanzi bishop otodo you see saka vanhu vane machechi zavo imomo kwotoona bishop anenge atione mafundisi ake imomo mujere imomo I have seen that you understand ndikatosiya ndatoiso wangu mufundisi ndikasiya ndati anonzi voice of revival prison ministry andi muri kuona I have seen that cho chikutsanangura kuti bishop maparidza maridzo okay let me tell you this other guy it was uchipinda mujere vanhu vanotanga kukudza musiyo menyu kuti uyu akaita dzakati uyu una ari kuvhotomoka akauraya mukadzi uyu ari kudai then that night I preached nyaya vari mani maperembudzi the following day vanati bishop maparidza bishop iye ndopauya ndopaamira vandistrecha roko ndobva ndikwazisa akati bishop mataura kuupenyu hwangu ina ndambobvira ndakuudza kesi yangu I've got 45 cases of rape and murder but the state knows 24
Aye.
but I have 45 I want to receive Jesus vagamshira Jesu. That was after that 2 days later I've seen that.
Okay, let's move forward. This one is a touching subject. I think in it's about this, but Zimbabwe generally, Bishop, is often described as a nation where speaking truth to power can be dangerous. And what drives you to keep speaking out despite these risks?
All right. It's a calling.
Kudanwa.
If you're not called into that ministry, you can't do it. There is a time in which I pangbacho ndinenge ndisingade kutaura. But God tells you to speak. Because he knows that he's going to protect you. So it's a calling.
You can't do it, it's not done.
You can't do it. Ukazviita wega in your power. Hauna kwaunoenda. Sometimes people they wonder vandosangana kuti another brother ari ku-UK azonditumira 100 pounds vaitirana naro vapechirana zvikanzi murume uyu ari kuZimbabwe mwakati kunyepa nezvaari kuita izvi kunyepa afanira South Africa. Then they had to call me in a video because I'm here, I'm in Zimbabwe. It's a calling. Basically it is a calling. I cannot say kuti ndozviita within my isimba rangu. No, I wouldn't want to lie. It's a calling.
And in experience so far, Guvazwa Matanga, the ministry, Guvazwa Matanga delivering the message, do you believe that the church in this country is doing enough to confront social injustice, or is just the church is just playing it too safe?
Yeah. The last statement you just said, that's true about the church. It is just playing itself. The church is not doing anything. Actually, okay, let me try to differentiate that. You have seen pastors for change, pastors for ED, but Chamisa pastors for citizens, just like pastors for change, Variko. So probably they are in their own capacity, they are doing well for the nation. But as far as I am concerned, they are doing it for their own personal gain. So if I sing about President Idi Mnangagwa, obvious, there are some favors. If I sing for Nelson Chamisa, he might not be in power today, but the day when he comes in power, these pastors for change will put out pastors for ED. They will chase them away. You understand what I'm saying? So delivering a message, it's a message, support. But here I'm not supporting anybody. I am supporting the mandate that the Lord has given us. The church in Zimbabwe is doing nothing.
So, the Bishop, is it safe to say that there can be pastors that are called, but called not to intervene in the affairs of the country, or in the way the country is run? Ari kwere mafundisi ekuti tingatoti ava vane calling, but calling dzavo hazinene zvenyika, hazinene zvematongero enyika, saka vakamira vari pakati apa, havatauri zvekuku, havatauri zvekuku, vanongorova shoko raMwari.
That's a very good question here. Because what God did was to give us different.
So let's not force pastors to speak against injustice. Let's not force pastors to speak against human rights violations. Yes.
Pamuri papa. Pane zvinhu zvatokutarisirayi kuti as a normal human being, as a father, you have got your responsibility.
Jesus.
Amugoni kuzotenga kune another husband or another father figure ari kutenga every month, ari kutenga magifts for mudzimai wake nemhuri yake. Vamwe vari kutenga mota vachidaidza mukomana anoedza bhoso vachitenga mota. Ndizvozvo.
Yes.
It's not expected of every father figure or every husband. But pane maduties anotozivikanwa sababa, that I care for my wife, I care for my family. Regardless kuti ndatadza kutenga mota every mwedzi, pane maduties anofanira kuitwa napastor, anofanira kuitwa na-church leader. Zvaanotofanira kuzivikanwa kuti akaona kuti zvinhu zvaenderera izvi, munomunzwa otaura kuti aiwa apa hurumende apa matadza apa. Because vana ndiri kuparidzira every day. Ndizvozvo. Vana ivavo vandiri kuparidzira every day ndo vanondituma kuti ndiudze hurumende mazuva ose. But kozvoitawo zvekuti gejo radzika, it's not expected of a pastor to, you are not called into that. But munguva zvikupiwa kuri kuitwa mota pesa. Ndakuudzai mimi, church yemuZimbabwe ikabatana izvezvi, toapproacha EFZ, toapproacha ZCC, Catholic of Bishops Council, toapproacha Yuda Caesar, toenda kuna vamuparutsa kuti this is what we want. We want Zach to question Chivhayo. We as the church, that's our mandate, that's our authority. I tell you, there will be a change. We want to question this one, we want to question this one. I tell you, there will be a change. Church ikaenda kutoti toda kuti mavhenda ese vekanzuro, maprista ekanzuro amire kushupa mavhenda ese, the government will listen. But chinoitika ndechekuti mapoliticians vanotsvaga musoro, woenda kune musoro iye opiwa 500,000. The next thing, imi mese mukaenda imi anokuziva kuti no, ngatinamate, zvimwe zvoda kuti Mwari vapindire, vabate chinyararire. Until when Mwari achinzi abate chinyararire, ivo vachitambudzwa pajekerere. Vanhu vari kutambudzwa pajekerere. Baba endai paCopacabana during anonzi machi kuma late hours.
Yes.
Go ende paCopacabana. Vanhu vanozokuudza kuti tiri kuzviita because tikauya kuzotengesa during the day, tinobatwa nemapurisa, tobatwa nemunicipality, toswa tichimhanyiswa. Saka during the evening vanenge vaenda kudzimba vapedza mabasa. Is that life?
It's not.
That's not life. And from the story it is the church. Church ikabatana kuti handiti approach minister Garu, we are coming there. Jimmy Murgona local government, blah blah blah. But this is our situation. We want you to tell mapurisa vamire zvavari kuita, because vanhu vatiri kuparidza vatiri church, vanhu vari kumhanyiswa mastreets. These are the very people vanozodimandwa chegumi namufundisi. These are the very people vanozi namufundisi sida. It's a contribution.
Saka apa tiri kuti faith without works yakafa.
Mapedza.
Right. There is a God is in its sentiment.
Okay.
Inotaura nawachamisa so takumeta sedhakudavid atichari ndaifarira bos tabata nyaya yekuti faith without works. Vamwe vanhu vanotaura vachamisa vakuwanza mavhesi. Imimi as a leader munozoonawo sei kuti vari kuwanza mavhesi asina action. Takatarisa nyaya yekuti faith without action is dead.
Vachamisa is not the Moses. Chamisa is the Joshua. It is the Moses we're supposed to open the verses and declare to Joshua every day. Saka vachamisa vari kutadza kutora position yavo. Havasi vanofana kuvhura mavhesi. Anofana kuvhura mavhesi ichechi. Ichivavhurira ivo mavhesi. Ivo vari on the ground. He's fighting the battle. Vachamisa is just letting action. Mavhesi haana kuipa, but haisi office yavo yemavhesi. Ioffice yedu isusu tisi mapoliticians, mapreachers. Tisofana tikavhura vhesi, toenda kuna vamunangagwa. Tikavhura vhesi, toenda kuna vamonzora, kuna vamadhuku, mapoliticians. Tikavhura vhesi, toenda kuna vachamisa, toenda kuna vachibaya. Tisu tinofana kusimudza maoko kuti Joshua akunde. Saka ivo vada kuita zvese. Kusimudza maoko nekurwa hazvishande. You crash my structures. You see now. You see, which is the other thing that the opposition politicians have let down the people of Zimbabwe. We don't want to go there.
I know. I wanted to go there. I've actually forgotten. What's your take on the state of the opposition, on the current state of the opposition now?
It's dead. These people are greedy. The people of Zimbabwe need to flush out all these rotational politicians. These are rotational politicians. They've been in politics since the days of Changirai. Others, they've been in politics since the days of Zoom. And what have they achieved for the people of Zimbabwe? What they achieved? Zvirikuita Mosa zvinoita ZANU. And ZANU, don't blame ZANU. Because ZANU ndo zvairi. Uye ndo zvinoita maparties ese. Kuti wakakuona kuti uri vocal, they come approach you, they give you money, vokusilence up what 2 million, 3 million, wonyarara. Iwo pamwe nongoenda mukadzi kumba mukadzi wangu kuti baba munotifira. So matiwa 3 million chicha mchada. You understand? I was telling somebody yesterday. Ndikati, where is the opposition? My business, my opposition leaders in Zimbabwe, they are flourishing. Yet they say ZANU-PF is not okay. They are running businesses that are doing well in Zimbabwe. They are even partnering with the ZANU-PF. But manje munhu ari kumtawa uko ngoma Samuel. Munhu ari kwaMurambindo uko hazvizive. But it's happening.
It's okay. Looking ahead, Bishop, what is your vision for Zimbabwe and how can the church help to bring that vision to reality?
Okay. The church now needs to be one. Consider the church needs to be one. Asigura kuti doctrine ngarifanani. Takasiyana. But the church inofanira kubatana in the sense yekuti panyaya dzenational issue. Tokunasiyana madoctrinal issues zedu ekuti kuchurch kuda tiprofita mwacho. But when it comes to national issues, Zimbabwe, church in Zimbabwe must be one, must unite. If we say we are going to confront the opposition, let the church go and confront and rebuke the opposition. When you say the church is going to confront ZANU-PF, let us go and confront ZANU-PF and bring ZANU-PF to order. And when the church is one, I tell you, change is definite. But now the church is divided. What is divided?
When you say change, what sort of change do you mean?
Okay, what sort of change?
Mugurabvisa hurumende.
All right. Munozachi.
Yes.
Hurumende iripo iyoyi tikaiudza zvakanaka zvairi kutadza kuti izvigadzirisa ikagadzirisa change yavepo.
Yes.
When you talk of change, it's not necessarily rebelling against the current government. It is confronting the current government. Nema issues are at hand. What are these issues? We need medication. Muzvipatara tiri kuda chakati, muzvikoro tiri kuda chakati. When we approach your government neizvozvo zvatiri kutaura izvi ikazviita change yavepo. You understand? Iyo opposition yacho tikai approach because instead of folding its hands, opposition inofanira kunge inewo zvainotoita zvekuti kana nyika ikaona inofana kunyatsoti hazvishuwa opposition iripo iri kumira, because by end of the day it's not about position. By end of the day it's about better means of livelihood for a ZANU-PF member, for a MDC member, for a CC member, for Mundebele, for Mushona Mkaranga Mundau. Tese takadai. We just need a better means of livelihood. It's not about Chamisa ngatonge. It's not about Munanga ngatonge. Ngadi. It's about improving our means of livelihood. Whichever way it is coming from, we just need a better life.
It's Chipendera, Bishop. They've been calls for President Mnangagwa to push up to 2030 so that he can see through some of his projects that he started. That's what one camp says. And what do you think? Zvine gwara here kuti we forgo elections and let President Mnangagwa be the president up until 2030. Shoko rinoti chi nemadzimambo asingadi kubva pazvigaro.
Okay. We are simply talking about the amendment of the constitution. ED 2030. ED 2030. It is not the mind of God. It is the mind of man. Are we together?
Yes.
Now, azvirambidzwe kuamenda constitution. Vari kuti ED 2030, it is their right. Vari kuti hatide futi, it is their right. But chinotibatsira, it is the constitution. What is the constitution? The constitution, it is the highest authority on the land. That is to say, even ED, no matter he wants it or avade, he bows to the constitution. Those amchona va president kana chenda kulive avasiye kuda mwana wavo avasiye kana mama kuti sare makabata ndakumbenda kulive. Say, because the law of the land, which is the highest authority, it tells them you live your vices. So kwenda kuna ED 2030 is not a problem, but it must be
constitutional.
Exactly. So nyika ngaende ku referendum. This also kwaitwa referendum, vanhu voti yes tiri kuda. Kana nyika ikati yes tiri kuda, ngavaite 2030, because the voice of the people is the voice of God. Kana vanyika ikati kwete hatisi kuda, yes ngavarege kuenda, because the voice of the people, it is the voice of God. But kuzviita manje kumbunyikidza vanhu, that's a sin. Kuti ngatitoenda ichete 2030. What is the constitution saying? Because we are protected. Pana mapana ari kumhanya achiti tiri anti-ED criticism, etc. Ari kutukira vanhu. I was saying to them, look here, hautorina capacity yeku defend the office of the president. No one has the capacity except the constitution. So constitution ikaitwa amended. Ndizozo. Vanhu vati tiri kuda kuti president vaite 2030. Vanhu vaita. Who even the church tinotozvitsigira, because nyika yese yazvitendera. Kana nyika ikati kwete, isusu vechechi hatigoni kuti hongu. Nekuti Mwari vakaisa constitution. Ndizozo. To protect us, to protect everyone. Ende Mwari vanotonga nyika ino kuburikidza neconstitution. Saka hatina chatinogona kuita tega chisina constitution. Tell you what, my brother, president is there because of you, because of him, because of her. Those amchona wachenda kuma rallies, because constitution manotoicha. Am I talking?
Yes, there you have it. Zimbabweans today with Mkomo Wangu, Bishop. But before we close, Bishop, would you want to say anything? Is there anything that you want to say that if you might have missed?
No, what I want to say is, people of Zimbabwe, let us be encouraged, be strong in the Lord. Let us continue to pray for a better a means of livelihood in our nation. Let us continue to pray for all the leaders, be it the ruling or the opposition. Let us continue to pray. And ngatirambei tichinzwa Mwari. Vanhu varege kuramba vachizvinzwa. Ngatirambei tichinzwa Mwari. Iyo government painotadza ngaitende kuti yatadza, uye kana yogadziriswa nechechi ngaibvume kugadziriswa, nekuti pasina chechi hapana utungamiri hwakanaka hunogona kuvepo. And the church is the voice of God here in Zimbabwe. Those are my words.
Thank you so much, Bishop Kevin Nyamakanga. And within today's program, we had Bishop Kevin Nyamakanga, who is an intercessor with over 20 years ministry experience. He leads the Zimbabwe Intercessors Movement, a prayer-driven initiative dedicated to national transformation, unity, and justice. We hope that we have more of you on this program.
Okay. I appreciate.
And I would want us to also go into other non-political issues.
It's okay.
Thank you so much for your time, Koba.
You're welcome. Thank you.